Hello and welcome to the C4C group meetup. Today is October 19th and we are here for Cardano for Climate meetup. The moon is waning gibbous in Leo. Project Catalyst is in Fund 9 cooldown and reflection mode. The Cardano epoch is 370 for a few more days. I invite you to bring your attention to this meeting. Enjoy some relaxing moments as I read the welcoming messages. The mission of our community is to make the world work better for all people, animals, and the living planet. And our goal is to make Cardano the blockchain of impact. The purpose of this meeting is to strengthen the connections between us as members of C4C. And today our theme or focus is reflection on Fund 9 and the Cardano Summit. And we're also going to talk about Rare Bloom and cNFT. Agenda items are Rare Bloom report, cNFT report, Cardano Summit focus. I'm hoping that Yorm and Nori can talk us through that, and reflection on Fund 9 in the Swarm style. And then we'll have some breakout rooms. The breakout rooms will be Spanish language, impact lead generators, Cardano Summit planning, Ikigai workshop, agile framework planning, new member hangout, anything that we want, we can do in our breakout rooms. The whole meeting will last about 90 minutes and we'll finish by 16:30 UTC. We do use the raise your hand emote when things are, but you can generally just popcorn in. It's a small group. It won't. Our intention is not to speak over anybody or but we can be polite in that way. The chat, if the chat is distracting, please turn it off. The recording, we will record the meeting as I am now. The recording will be posted publicly on YouTube, and the chat links will be curated and posted along with the video. Dework, there is a participation award in Gimbals, and the link will be shared further on in the presentation. As we settle in, take a relaxing breath or two and bring our attention to the group and the beautiful, powerful people here. Let's check in with the question, what are you reading or watching this week? And
related to impact.
Related to impact, of course. And I'm going to pause. Thank you for those wonderful shares. This is, you know, if you're listening on YouTube, you know, I'm sorry that you didn't get the benefit of those. There are some incredible links of some books and things, and we will post those for your benefit. Moving along, I believe, let's share our slideshow here. So we've welcomed, and here's a look at our agenda. I'm hoping to hear from folks from that went to the cNFT and the Rare Bloom, just by way of speaking very quickly about what you saw there and etc. Then we'll talk about the summit, and then we'll do a reflection. And then here's the making the world work better. There's our mission. And we've done our check-in. And here we go. The cNFT conference, that was in San Francisco, the Rare Bloom, which was in Denver. Is someone here can talk about that for a little bit?
I think the cNFT one was in Las Vegas.
Oh,
but, yeah. I went to Rare Bloom in Denver. It was really cool, really exciting. It wasn't much of a community-based conference. It was most about people building in the space and projects that have already launched or are close to launching. Yeah, it was great to see how much people believe in Cardano, what they're doing, having one-on-one conversations with those people. And also, I got to meet Charles. That was a huge thing for me. So yeah.
And hey guys, I actually went to cNFT Con in Las Vegas. I'm feeling a little under the weather today, so I'm just gonna keep my camera off. But yeah, it was awesome. There were like 5,000 participants for the 2-day event. And it was really cool just to see all the different kind of collaboration from community members. Got to meet the Blockchain Learning Center, and it was really cool just to see kind of all this different, like it wasn't just like NFT based, I'd say. It was like Ergo was there. There were a lot of like really cool Cardano based projects, and it was just cool to finally meet so many people in person that I haven't seen and been kind of communicating with for the last year or so. So that was awesome.
Thanks, Cole. I think that theme of meeting people in person is, I'm curious is how it might affect, your future collaboration and connection. I mean, it seems like it can only help. Anyone else have gone to one of these physical meetups, or is anyone doing a physical meetup in, like either an environmental or a technological or a Cardano meetup? Is anyone doing anything like that?
Doing stuff in November. The Cardano Summit has a number of local events happening. So
yes,
I'll be helping to organize the Vancouver event. So we'll definitely have a big 150-person venue in Vancouver for that. And I'd love to hear about other locations around the world. One of the things that were talked about yesterday is rather than doing a global stage, as we've been talking about, so many people are doing so many things already. Maybe our time would be better spent just collecting all that information and having a kind of global impact kind of timeline to show what's happening around the world when, so people that are interested can dial in, tune in, or show up at local events, either online or in person. So that's kind of what our focus is kind of shifting to now. So if anybody is doing stuff anywhere in the world for the Cardano Summit in November, let us know. And we'll probably have a more formal way of collecting all that here soon, but it'd be great to hear about anything that's happening from the people in the room right now.
So guys, do we want to be talking about the summit right now? Is this?
Yep. I think that's a perfect segue into talking about the summit. Watch this. I can even do this. Check this out. Boink. And Impact Tribe, November 11th, 21st, Cardano Summit. We are now talking about the summit. Let's there's and the first part of the summit would be about this sort of local event and participating, how we can participate. Daniel, I see you got your hand raised. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm organizing the Mexico City local summit, and I've been thinking a lot about what we're expecting of the event and what we want to do. One of the things I saw in Rare Bloom talking with people from the Cardano Foundation is that we need to get education to the region and to Latin America. So that's the whole thing we're trying to do in the Cardano Summit. So we're gonna have a lot of speakers talking about learning platforms being built in Cardano and Project Catalyst, how it can help fund projects in the region. And I would love to have someone from C4C talk about impact as well.
Excellent. Thank you, Daniel.
And nice that you're organizing. One of the key things I think is being able to find out who all the organizers are so that we can talk to them and say, hey, if you don't have an impact track, maybe we can help or connect you with people nearby that can help present.
So guys, yes, like in Toronto, like I'm participating, like I'm gonna be involved. I'm not organizing it. There's we have a Cardano Foundation member actually in Toronto who's organizing it. His name is John. But I wasn't sure exactly what you guys wanted to be, do you want to have someone like to be a representative of C4C and be there either at a booth or, track speaker might be a bit, I don't know if that would always work, but maybe just a booth at minimum, right? Just so there's some presence, because there might be people that would like to just know a little bit about what communities exist that are, that are around impact and environmental. So I don't know, like, is that, Nori, has that been discussed there or?
It hasn't, but I think that's a great idea. Having some kind of a booth or a present, or at least show up with some flyers or
Yeah,
business cards or something that you can pass out and talk to people about. Or even if you can get into the track and say, we'd like to give a presentation, if that's happening at the summit. Like I know at Vancouver, we're going to have a series of talks and Q&A sessions happening on a big screen in a room. But if that's not happening and it's more of a meetup kind of networking event than a booth or something.
well, in this case, we're having, it's basically, it's one of the meetup. I mean, it's one of the local conferences, so it's gonna be for a day. So there's definitely speakers and all that stuff. It's just that I don't know, like I'm not sure if I want to, be able to. I don't know if I want to be talking and presenting a track. I'm not really sure what exactly I would say, so I don't really put my hand. But definitely, I could be at a booth and people could come by and ask some questions, and exactly we just had like simple, some poster, just some awareness of the community. That might be.
Yeah, I think, working within your comfort level is totally great. If you want to do a booth and help out that way, that'd be awesome. If there are going to be speakers there that are in the impact space, not necessarily C4C, getting that information back to us so we can put it on the timeline so that people who are interested can dial in or show up.
Okay, because I'm definitely connected. I mean, we have a Telegram chat, and so I have seen some of the speakers come in. They're not particularly impact related, but I'll ask John.
That would be awesome.
If you know, so. Okay, that'd be cool. And so on that note, though, I think it would be helpful, right, if we just had some materials that we all use for that we could just reference. So I don't need to, like, what do I want to show? Like, so if we could just maybe put together somewhere just some materials that I could print off or something, then I can go and go up on a booth and then at least we're consistent. I don't know if that makes sense. Or
that's something we can definitely work on together as a community.
Okay, so then we could. I don't know if you want to have a mirror board or something, or a Google Drive or something, just the assets that we could use, that would be helpful. Okay, so I'll reach out and see who's on there from impact, and then we'll go from there. Thanks, man.
And Rido, just before there is a brainstorming. You just reminded me, Lawrence, of a brainstorming.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring that up right now too.
I got it copied. Rido, do you want to jump in now?
Yes, so I'm slowly building my own small community here in Finland as well. We already have like 5 people, and we've been meeting twice already. And yeah, we do have some plans to start weekly Cardano meetups here as well. Yeah, hopefully in a few months when we have like small team together. As well as I met today Suplane, I think it's an Estonian company, Sander, and they do like this NFT event, which is like largest in the Baltic and Nordics countries. So I think this is in next year May. So I hope to get some like collaboration event maybe with them as well.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you. Just by point of well, this will be recorded, the video. If you could, or if you're willing, let's try to collect these local events that Rido and Daniel that are doing it. I think that in the Miro board, I think there is maybe a spot that's already being sort of set up for that. So if you're willing, please post that in the Miro board, so that then we can support you in however way we can, and then maybe like what you need for support. Okay. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. How about TP? Oh, muted. Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, just to echo what Nguyen said, it's wonderful to hear about all these groups being started up around the world and developing communities, and that's really fantastic. Just in relation onto the summit, as someone who's very new to the Cardano community in general, and learning about the different aspects and communities that have set up on the blockchain, if you were to, how would you find out whether there was an event near you? Is there some kind of website which has like a location-based kind of proximitor, or how do you go about finding who's involved and how to join in?
I just put a URL in the chat. That should take you to a page where you can sign up to find, there's 50 local events that are officially being sponsored by the Cardano Foundation all around the world. So there should be something semi close by. So you should be able to find it through that website.
Wonderful. And just a follow-up question on that, assuming that you lived in, cities in Europe or across the world, across Northern America, I presume you would have an event near you. But let's say, for example, you were in a country which didn't have representation. How would you go about finding people in your area who are also Cardano enthusiasts and want to create an event? Is there some kind of focal point or forum or meet board which indicates to people like, hi, I'm a Cardano enthusiast? Or
there is a global Cardano meetup group. Let me drop that link into chat, and you can see if there is some representation in your local area. Because there are Cardano ambassadors in a number of countries that are holding local meetups, and not just the Cardano Summit, but like monthly, bi-monthly kind of group meetups, so people can meet face-to-face and connect with other Cardano enthusiasts. So that's another place to check. Let me find that link and I'll drop it in chat for you.
thank you.
Yeah, because I was kind of lucky. I found a group of people who wanted to start a hub here like a couple of months ago, but they didn't get funded, so they dropped the idea. And now I'm basically bringing back the people who they started, and so I'm kind of kickstarting what was left behind. Like, but there is, for example, one group, for example, Finnish Cardano group, which is kind of unofficial. So if you could find something like that, and then just right there, and or even like, let's say, USA groups or something like that, and just ask, like, is there someone in my city, and let's get together. And because I believe there are, like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
And if you look, just to put it onto the recording, on the global Cardano meetup, you can see these red dots are organizers, and they're all around the world. There's something going on. I don't know how active all of them are, but there should be something relatively close by if you check that out.
Nice. Thanks, Nori. That's great. Michelle.
Hello. Sorry. I just wanted to bring my support. I'm actually attending the Cardano Summit in Lausanne. Well, hopefully I will be presenting the tools we are developing to create impact with Impascope, my company. So yeah, our idea was like, okay, to present what you are doing, but on the other hand, I would be happy to help, someone maybe creating an impact section at the summit in Lausanne.
Yoram's the guy to talk to.
Yeah.
So no. So you're already included actually in one of the sessions. Hopefully it's going to be approved by CF. So we are going to have several impact sessions. So from the information I have up to now, the first day, which would be Sunday, we are going to have, it's going to be managed by CF, and going to be a couple of big announcements related to impact projects there. And then on the second day, it's managed by the community. And there we are going to have, we suggested several sessions. One is Cardano for climate related companies, which we are there. Olam is there, speaking about Cardano for climate, and we have Landano, the different projects there. There will be another session, which is Realify, that is also going to happen. And it's kind of coming from Landano side and organizing together different companies. We're going probably to have a microfinance session, where we are bringing the microfinance industry in Geneva, in Switzerland, to this session, also to brainstorm around blockchain, Cardano, and microfinance. And then there are going to be another impact session about impact companies from Geneva ecosystem onboarded to Cardano. So SeedStars, Goodwall, Accelerate 2030, how they got onboarded to Cardano and what they are doing on Cardano. And all of that also is to be able to communicate to the impact ecosystem in Switzerland to come to the event. So that's what we suggested to Cardano Foundation, and we'll see feedback hopefully in the next coming days to see.
Yeah, happy to contribute in any case.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. I mean, your guys are doing incredible stuff. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is really wonderful. Any other things about sort of attending and then participating? I know that we want to talk about also voting for other things. And also is if Irene, I know, is doing a local event. Irene, if you could, there you are. You're welcome if you'd like to share a little bit about that.
Yeah, we are until now we're still organizing the event. We already submit our budget and trying to do some gathering people, meetup about the Cardano and about the summit. So a lot of people accepting and are ready to learn more about what is Cardano doing, all the project and all about the Cardano blockchain. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And that's in Dar es Salaam.
Yes.
Dar es Salaam, yeah. In Tanzania. So if you are participating, please connect with us and let us know how we can support and how we can help. This is sort of the goal, reflecting back on that mission of sort of making connections and supporting one another. One of the things is voting. Could we talk a little bit about how we can participate now with the voting? Is someone familiar with how the voting works and processes go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Michelle, you were.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I was somehow voting. Yeah, so it's question of connecting your wallet, not necessarily a Cardano one. MetaMask is sufficient, and then that was kind of challenging to be able to register there. But yeah, that's kind of connecting and then having the usual phone verifications. But once you are connected and the wallet is connected, then it's relatively easy to nominate. I just shared the different categories in the chat, and basically you can vote for each different category. But you may need to be a bit patient to be able to log in and be able to vote.
Okay, so I've got my screen set up, and I read very quickly the end user the legal part. I hope that was okay. But you can look at the different categories here: dev team, DEX, gaming, identity solutions. This is really wonderful. Some names that we recognize. This might be a really fun way to sort of get farther in and find a place in the community. There you go.
And as was mentioned, a lot of wallets are supported. I connected with a wallet that was connected to testnet, and it allowed me to vote. So it wasn't even a mainnet wallet. So I didn't realize it was a testnet wallet until after I voted, and I was like, oops, but it worked. So I think they're being very inclusive, and any wallet that can connect can vote.
Nice. Okay.
But I have a question below. After you connect the wallet, then you need to do something on Discord, right, to confirm or?
Yes, there's a Discord bot on the Cardano Foundation's event Discord server. So there's a bit of a process there. It's not the easiest voting sign up I've encountered.
Or otherwise you have to do like a mobile phone verification. You received an SMS, you get the code and then you can vote. But should be fine.
Okay. Let's see. Any other things about participating in the Cardano Summit? Otherwise, we can switch up to the next section of our meeting. While we wait, I'm excited. I'm excited about the Cardano Summit. It does seem like it's the big event for Cardano in the year, and participating in it should be really fun. It's a good way to see who represents there. Like a good overview, like a lot of these.
Newman, do you go to the one in New York? Is that correct, Newman?
I think so. I think I'm going to be back in Northern California by that time, but there may be one in San Francisco or Oakland or the Bay Area. What I did was I just put in my intention, and then we went to an email. I haven't really received anything, so I may do it again. It seems like I've done it a couple of times. Maybe an issue with my email, but I think it's just a really cool thing, and we'll be focused on it here for C4C for leading up until the event. We really do want to make sure, again, a part of our mission to make Cardano the impact blockchain, because we feel that that's sort of baked in, and that the people that arrive, that are newcomers to the chain, to the technology, have that we facilitate, that we make it easy for them to get those big world-changing ideas on the ground and running. Okay. Let's see what our next slide is. Cardano Summit. Ooh, okay, here we go. Fund 9 retrospective. I'm gonna pull up this slide. Can you all see this? The swarm, and I think some folks were there on Saturday to attend their retrospective meeting. I'm going to try to bring up the Miro board, and maybe we can go through some of these together. How does that feel? To think back on what happened in Fund 9 and etc.
Yeah, I think so. On that, I mean, it's a great initiative by Swarm, and we're trying to duplicate it across the communities so we can put it up and then have a breakout room also. And I mean, Fund 9 was had some might have some issues. I mean, within the fund, so it's good to if people what they feel and put it out there, and it's good that we collect it from the different communities basically.
There are a few links.
Yeah, we let them here. There's 2 other links that Swarm shared. One is a survey about Fund 9, and the second is basically a poll about Fund 9. So please also take some time and upload it and give your feedback. It's important that we can provide IOG with feedback coming from the community.
Okay, excellent.
For example, to have it in Spanish, Juanita.
Muy importante tener espacios en español en C4C.
Yeah, it's very important. I agree.
It's very, very, very important. Spanish space in C4C all the time.
Sí.
Sí.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
We will have a for the Spanish speakers, or if you want to sort of practice your Spanish or sort of hear some of the Spanish language, we will have a breakout room and a standing breakout room for Spanish. It really is important. Important isn't sort of a big enough word. It's really the opportunity. I mean, on so many levels, it's valuable for a community to be worldwide, to do different languages. There's something that acts. There's just I'm very, very supportive of this initiative to get everyone speaking their home language. You know,
And
it's just-
one idea to share with everyone that if we can do any different initiative, it's a little bit the same. If we can create a little bit hubs, just like we created with Little Fish, where people, you know, something started here, and then, you know, they went out and they are working their own stuff and they are progressing. So there is connection, but they're also kind of building their own ecosystem. And if we can start building this different ecosystem, right, in LATAM, in Asia, in Africa, and so on, which work by themselves and connect between us. I mean,
Right.
that's kind of the idea, right? Not to have it centralized, I mean, for everything.
I'm very happy and
Sí, no,
excited
yo sé.
for this
Cuando haya
opportunity.
guidar esto, hacer esto y guidar, nosotros ayudamos.
See,
So you need,
I am very, very,
yeah.
very happy for this opportunity. I'm very excited.
Good, good, good.
I actually reached out yesterday to the LATAM community to talk to them about how can we start translating all of the documentation from English to Spanish. It can be Project Catalyst and also C4C material. And they told me they had a translating team that is willing to help. But I don't know, maybe I'll talk this in the next working meeting with you guys, but I don't know if there's any budget for that, for the team, for the translations.
So we can discuss that. I mean, we have the onboarding, again, the onboarding proposal and the lead generator proposals, right? Both of them, we can try and see how can we help. And the lead generator, actually, we already helped the Latin community. So we need to see how that can be served to help that.
Yeah.
So,
perfect.
Okay, but let's have a chat about that. But I would like to invite everyone to the Miro, Nori, if it's okay to facilitate that, just that we give some time to put our thoughts there.
Mm-hmm.
Nori, would you like to share your screen as we go through it, or how could we get everyone there and participating? The prompts are, what do you think of? What do you think of Fund 9? Things that you really enjoyed, things that you have learned. And things the community missed, and desired objectives.
So I just threw the link to the Miro again in chat. Please click on that so that you can add your stickies, because we'd like to get everybody's thoughts on these. Just to note, since this is a Cardano community, if Miro is not coming up for you and you are running the Eternal wallet in either Chrome or Brave, that's what's causing Miro not to work. So you're going to have to switch to a different browser or disable Eternal temporarily so that you can get in. Just
Thanks
so everyone.
I had no idea why my Chrome wasn't working. I'd always pulled Miro up in Firefox. So
Nope.
okay, now I know.
It's Eternal.
Now you know, yeah, now you know, that's right.
And it took Tevo many weeks to actually figure that out with both teams kind of opening support tickets. If you're technically curious, there's a JavaScript incompatibility between the two that causes Miro not to load.
In general, what I thought of Fund 9, that might be a hard one. I might skip ahead to the things you really enjoyed. You know, I just see so much potential and opportunity. There's just tons and tons of opportunity. What else? I got to meet Professor Dalton, Keith down there. Yeah, we met really great folks. Yeah. Looks like folks are typing things in. Very well done. And this is valuable, and please just disregard my voice as you click and type.
I also think that a lot of different communities are doing it, and we are bringing it all together, which will be quite cool.
Yes.
So it's really nice.
This is on the Swarm. It's on their Swarm board. If you zoom out, you can see some of the things that other folks have done. But do that afterwards. One point that I want to make is that this personal reflecting individually, and then reflecting as a group, or sort of, taking an account of everyone's perspective, is really valuable. And it can be powerful just in your own, in your own way. I think that's one of the key components of a decentralized organization, is that we are empowering to you. And so if it doesn't feel empowering, then don't do it. Then it's not our intention. But this should feel good to you, or the feeling that I get is it's great. Like, people want to know what I thought of what I just did. And being able to share that with a group of folks is really, really wonderful. It might be a good time to well, one, redo the timer for another 5 minutes. That should give us a bit of time. But also, by way of little announcement, is that next week during this time, we will do our Way of Counsel monthly meeting, which was very powerful. Last month, you can come and join for that type of experience. It's a different type of experience than what you may have come to expect in the ecosystem. It's a unique and thing that we're bringing and offering.
And since we're approaching our new moon, the focus of the community council will be kind of reflecting on what happened, and then kind of generating ideas and thoughts for how we move forward as a community. Or anything else that arises for you. It's an open space.
Yeah.
Great. What did we miss? Things the community missed.
When did Fund? So Fund 9 began in June. I think like the 1st of June.
Just a comment on one of the stickers there. It said C4C had no fund proposals funded. Was it just for this round, or in previous rounds have we had projects that have been funded? And what proportion of the project put forward get funded? I mean, is it disproportionately underfunded is what I'm trying to get at.
C4C got a number of proposals funded to date. We have 6 that got funded, for a total of about $100,000 US of total budget. So we do have a significant amount of stuff that we have gotten funded. Fund 9, unfortunately, because it was half of the fund was in the dApps integrations and products category. And we're not really building like that specifically. It was really hard to find a category that fit what we do as a community. So I think that hurt us a little bit. And the fact that Fund 9 was very, very product oriented and not community or governance or any of the other kind of impact related stuff. We didn't have any natural categories to propose in. Fund 10's looking a little bit similar, so I'm not quite sure what that'll look like either, but I think that was it. But also, yeah, we can talk about it. I have other stickies up there around the voting and the downvoting and things that happen. But,
so each fund has different categories then, there's no consistency. So
right.
Is there any way of preparing? So for example, if teams were getting together now, would there be any indication as to what the categories would be like for Fund 10? That's yet to be presumably launched.
In Fund 9, we all voted for the Fund 10 categories. So those are set now. And I think at one of our upcoming meetings, we'll have some kind of a board where we'll lay out all of the challenge setting categories and then do brainstorming so people can collaborate or put ideas on. And we tend to do that at the start of every fund. So once we get out of the cool down period, we'll probably kick that off.
Awesome, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's in the interest of or being mindful of the time, we've got about 11 minutes until we want to start our breakout rooms, and we'll do breakout rooms for about 30 minutes. And the breakout rooms are you know, we can join or not. We can come back and work on the this retrospective. If you've got a good head of steam, please, as always, please feel free to disregard my voice as I just make some announcements. The breakout rooms will begin in about 10 minutes, and this retrospective will be a breakout room. So if you want, we can get in a smaller group and break off into there. Let me read the breakout rooms that are suggestions. The Spanish language breakout room. If you're interested in impact lead generators, we'll have a space for you there. If you want to talk more about the Cardano Summit, and please continue to work on the retrospective. If you are interested in more about the Cardano Summit, we also have another Miro board, the Ikigai workshop, basically trying to get the organizational units of C4C aligned. We didn't speak about it today, but if you're interested in agile framework, doing these sprints and a new way of working together in collaboration, we can break out for that. If you're a new member and you want to hang out and ask some questions that you may, you know, just for new membership or what you may think is obvious, we can create a spot for that. Or if you just like to hang out in a smaller room, that is also sometimes nice to do.
All right, Newman, I have to go, but thanks again for hosting, and I'll see you guys all later. Okay,
Cool.
Lawrence,
Thanks,
just
Lawrence.
one thing, maybe you just give an update about what you did with the Open Item Up, just for inspire everyone a little bit.
Okay, well, sure. All right, okay, yeah. So basically, we launched the Litter coin smart contract on the testnet. And so that was a big milestone. It really wanted to test the new, so the smart contracts were upgraded so they're Plutus V2 compatible. We took advantage of some of the Vaso hard fork features such as reference strips and inline datums. These are really neat features now to make things more performant on the blockchain. So that was great. And then used a new library, Lucid. So that's really cool. So that's using the wallet integration piece. Again, things have improved a lot since 6 months ago. So things are getting much better to develop on, which is good for everyone. And so that was the idea, to get that out there, do the testing, so it all works as expected, which is great. So I'm going to work with Sean, we'll work with his community to try to have a bunch of people test it and stuff like that, kick the tires, and then obviously we'll figure out next steps. Obviously there would be some front end UI that needs to be done by somebody, and then figure out when it's ready to go out to production. But the fact that the fact that it works on the testnet is a really good indication that it's going to work on mainnet. So it's just a matter of getting a few other pieces together. So that's great. I'm a little busy right now with something else, so I got to focus on that. So that's my priority right now. But yeah, it's definitely a step in the right direction. If anyone has any questions on it.
Excellent.
Where can we go to find out more? Do you have
I've got a YouTube video. I'll put that in the chat, and the GitHub, and then obviously Sean's the open letter map piece there. But it's all open source, so anyone can look at the code. And if you have any questions, just let me know. There's open letter map.
Cool. Yeah, we've got your YouTube channel and that specific, the Littercoin preview testnet launch.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yep. So we got that one for you. Really wonderful work.
GitHub, that would be awesome. We have a request for that from Alex.
Yeah, let me find. I'll put the GitHub. It's in the YouTube link, but I'll grab it as well. So I've got it right here. I've been working on this GitHub for crazy
at the top of the stack.
Yes. Well, it's bookmark, baby.
Thanks so much. And thanks for stopping in. Really, really great to have you around and part of the community. I'm glad. And just so you will be, there is a Toronto Cardano Summit thing. Yeah. So yeah, just as you go through it, however, please, you will be in touch. Thanks for being such a big part of the community. But we're looking forward to supporting you in that way as well.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm going to reach out to John, he's in the Cardano Foundation. He's the guy that's here based in Toronto. So I'll let him know that I'm willing to do a booth, and we'll figure out what that looks like closer to the day as we get more materials. But I'm pretty comfortable fielding questions, but I don't really want to. I've got too many other things to be focusing on, a track or some other presentation. So
okay. Good focus. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Lawrence.
Bye. Cool. All right. By way of participation, and before anyone else needs to go, I want to share with you the link to the Dework Bounty. We do a bounty each week for about 50 gimbals, which is a community participation token. And you are welcome to sign up on Dework and collect the 50 gimbal tokens. I've just shared the link in the chat. Yeah, why not go over and sign up, get some gimbals.
And just one thing that we talked about, when you click this purple submit work button, rather than just saying I was here, if you could note like one of the highlights of the meeting that you are going to take away that you thought was really awesome, that's a great way of submitting work, just so that we also have a record of what people loved about being here today.
Excellent. Yes, that is a good reminder. Please submit something, just a sentence about what you loved in the meeting, or what a highlight of the meeting. Okay. Ooh, let's make some breakout rooms.
Yeah, and Newman, and again, great for managing. I mean, all of that in timely manner, and great, and being so nice to coordinate all of that. It's great work, sir.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. You are welcome. It is my pleasure. Actually, I really do enjoy it. I do feel like it's a way that I can, and anyone can, if you'd like to learn how to facilitate, and do this role. I welcome you to join me and follow along, learn how to do it, and then do it. I think it's an important part of communities that all communities need this type of support.
Yeah, as you said, the rooms also, yeah, one of the objectives is to implement in the next couple of months the Ikigai model, right? That we're working with Little Fish, and if no one familiar, so really go to Little Fish. They're meeting on Mondays normally at 7 p.m. UTC, and basically, so that will be part of things that we are going to implement. So, what do you like to do? What you are good at, and connect that to really what we need, and what we can pay for, and kind of try to build a community around that. I think that's incredible what they are doing. And I know Chekan is not here today, but yeah, so we'll not have a breakout room about that today, unless someone else is taking it.
Yeah, we'll see. I just typed it in, but we'll see if folks, and if no one is in a room, you can just jump in and sort of take over. I could just call them all, just give them the room names, sprints and agile. I'm writing in the sprints and agile. That's for this sort of organizational method. I've got language of the heart, Cardano Summit, Ikigai model, sprints and agile, maybe new members. And then always just
Daniel and Cole, maybe you just want to speak 1 minute until a new members on board in this project, how you're doing with that, or you're going to start it for Fund 10, or just until the breakout rooms are ready.
Yeah, and maybe new members is also impact onboarding.
Mm-hmm. And there's also questions in chat about how Dework works. I think Daniel said he's a little. I think that's related to Dework, but maybe helping people connect, sign in, and then access these things might be a useful breakout too. Or
okay,
you will take it, Nori. You will do that one.
Yeah, I can hop into one. I think there's a couple that I need to be in.
Oh, yeah. and then of course, actually, I missed the biggest one, and which is the really one. Can I change a room name once it's already done? I don't think I can.
No, you have to close them up and open.
Geez. Okay. Rooms. Let's choose use room 7 as the retrospective room. Sorry about that. It was right at the top of my thing, because that's and actually we may just do that in the main room to do the retrospective, because I think that really would be, that's sort of the major thrust of the meeting. So the rooms are open, so feel free to jump around. I encourage you to connect individually. Find a small space. If you don't know someone, the mission, as I said in the beginning, and the mission of C4C is to foster collaboration. So if around any of these topics or any other topic, yeah. All right. Let's I'm gonna pop in over to the retrospective now, and we can go from there. Or if you have anything to talk about. And with that in mind, I'm going to turn off the recording, so maybe that will spur us to think a little more freely. Okay, I just wanted to the stopping the recording did actually work to spur some communication, and I wanted to bring up this idea of, and I'm in the sense of climate change, and I'm just gonna Keith, who brought this idea up to us just now. I just want to sort of summarize the issue that you brought up, which I think is really it's not wonderful, but it is insightful into the problem of today. And it concerns Palau, which is from what I understand, is an island nation in the Pacific. But they have, just like we're all having, but they have it harder simply because of their economics that in the past and what's happening now. And so basically, that during COVID, tourism dropped and sort of shocked the economy. They began, because there weren't any tourism and because fishing exports were down and the other traditional economies that were going on there, so they began to sell off the land into speculative buying. And then because they feel like tourism will come back and now the prices are low, that now they're in danger of tree deforestation, clear cutting, and they have these beautiful mahogany trees. But there is this idea that Keith has brought us for opportunities with tree planting. In Cardano, one of our key projects is trees and NFTs for trees. But then there's other sort of sustainable, generative projects with carvings that could be made into NFTs. That you don't have to cut down all of the trees. So it's not a binary thing where it's either you have to save all the trees or if you cut them all down, that creative ways exist, and that the blockchain and Cardano can be a part of that. And this community, that there is ideas and partners and energy in this community that can be used to focus on this issue and build something that would not just help the people of Palau, but every economy that's affected by this either or thinking or with climate change directly. Does that summarize it pretty good?
Yes, that summarizes it. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up is that the person, and I may have his title wrong, but the person that is maybe president, he came from New York. He's part Jewish and part Palauan, and he's heavy into crypto. And so they created a token where people can get citizenship. Now I'm just kind of going, I could have this wrong, but I'm guessing that citizenship, it's under $300. And I think what it does is the main reason they did it is for import export, where I believe you can do duty-free and tax-free commerce as having that tokenized NFT citizenship. So they're very open to crypto.
That's phenomenal. I think I remember something about that. Is he the one? Because I believe that sea level rise is an issue there. And he was having this sort of creative president or political leader was doing like all their press conferences out in 6 inches of water, like to really drive home the point that this is not for them an academic exercise. It's not for them something that just says, well, when the sea level, I'm going to have to move into my vacation home. And not to say that there's anything bad about having a vacation home, but for some parts of the world, they will not be impacted by the climate crisis in the same way as others, meaning that there's others on the borders living in Palau that, or living in Northern California with the fires, or living in Flint, Michigan with no water, or all of these places where their voices we need to listen for their voices and listen for the projects that are coming out and focus our attention there, in my opinion. Yeah, and I think that's called fence line communities. There's a Wikipedia entry, fence line or border communities, and it really does, for me, draw a point, and I want to listen to those folks that are going to be most seriously impacted. Okay.
Here's something interesting I'm looking up. The citizenship, crypto citizenship is $248. So they did do that. And also, I didn't know this, that Palau partners with Ripple on climate-friendly national digital currency. So I think Charles Hoskinson was talking about something to do with Ripple just the other day on one of his YouTube videos. So universe leaves clues. Maybe this is something to look into.
I would think so. Yeah, for sure. Let's I'm just going to share my screen to get this on the YouTube. Just to say, here is the Republic of Palau to issue NFT IDs, digital residency. This was done in January of 2022 on a website called Tech Sprout News. Teamed up with a development firm, digital residency program called Root Name System, provide people with a blockchain-based legal ID and digital residency to open access to global business opportunities. Oh, okay, yeah. So they talk about like digital, DIDs. Well, people allow people to control how much information about themselves they wish to share with others via their IDs that will be issued physically as well as in the forms of non-fungible tokens, NFTs. Here is the president, Sir Angel Whips Jr. has signed an agreement to grant all global users digital residency through this root name system, RNS. This is really phenomenal. Okay, according to the announcement at the time, Palau gets a national digital currency. Authorities there are open to experimenting with its use cases on decentralized public blockchain called XRP Ledger. So maybe it's an XRP token. And what's that?
Yeah, sorry, if I may add, it was making me think quite a lot about, I don't know whether you are aware of Estonia, where you can get like your e-residency. And I just became an Estonian e-resident of Estonia. And basically the idea there is that you have your residence and you can manage like a company in Estonia without ever being there pretty much. And well, that's somehow blockchain based because, Estonia, even before it was called blockchain, would use quite a lot, shared databases. And I know that there, for example, with these identity management tools, you can do everything online concern what's related on, relationship with the government, apart from buying a house and getting married. And yeah. So that's but this one they're really getting it to the next stage, to the next level in a way.
Yeah, that does seem like a next level or an advancement. I mean, yeah, I do think that identity and that this sort of digital ID, self-sovereign ID, is a real important part of the whole economy and system. Simply because you can be unbanked if you try to do anything outside of the box. And I'm not talking about rebelliousness. I'm just thinking, like, if you mess with someone's cheese, if you change the game and somebody's livelihood depends on the game, then just a system wants to stay, it will try to make itself survive. And I mean, maybe that's just the era that we're coming into. Yeah.
And then I should say, like, from my perspective, also when it comes to identity management, you realize it's simply such a mess, you know, the fact of having to have like a different password and authentication methods. So
Yeah.
I think there's a big need also from the user experience perspective, because nowadays pretty much it's horrible because again, within password, two-factor authentication, that's really something I guess a lot of companies are working on to streamline the process, because that's too much.
Right. And then, you know, yeah. Well, I want to bring it back to Keith. I guess I mean, I feel for the folks of Palau. I think that their pain is my pain. You know, there's empathy there. There's opportunity there. Meaning that we've had a ton of you know, work done on trees. I love trees. I'm an old tree guy. I love, you know, and so an NFT Tridano was making you know, basically giving an identity, like giving basically a wallet to a tree, a living, very valuable being on the planet. Especially in Estonia, especially in these island ecosystems. We just had a giant hurricane in Florida, in my country. And a big reason why it was so devastating is that it's the barrier islands with mangrove forests have been cut out and people have built there. But if those mangroves had identities when, you know, in the 50s or 60s when they were cut down, it may be in a different story today. So how can we get more involved, Keith? What do you feel like, you know, are we understanding the problem? How is it, you know, I would love to get us a link or of this group that you're working with.
Well, the group is just me and another person that lives on Palau right now, and now the Cardano for Climate. So what I can do is find out some more information, but the idea is to, of course, help save the trees. And they do a lot of carving there, and they carve stories. So I envision buying some of these. What they do is they sell these carvings to the local restaurants and areas that they can hang these up. And so they sell them for a few $100s. I think the most expensive one that I saw is this person that lives there sharing some of he went into one of the shops and was sending pictures. I think the most expensive one was $1,200, somewhere in that range. But I thought, what if they were converted? Because this person could take the photos and turn them into NFTs, sell them for way more money than what they would get. Plus, he could ship them out to the person that would purchase the NFT and would have the actual carving. And so the idea is to set up some kind of fund, maybe with a token, so that money can be put together so the people that have these trees on their property, rather than selling off their land to a developer, that they could retain the land and maybe put some kind of a mini resort or something on there, something that maybe could be rented out and could import the lumber to do that. Because if they're duty free, that lumber could come. I live in Astoria, Oregon, and they ship lumber out of here all the time.
Right.
So I'm thinking that lumber could be shipped. That would, you know, I'm looking for that win-win-win kind of a situation where everybody wins. Cardano, they get press, more attention because of what the program would could put that out in the press, bring more awareness to Cardano, save trees, save economies.
Yeah.
Save people's land. So it's an idea right now. And the reason I popped in here is to maybe get some, I'm glad you're receptive to the idea.
Well, I think we are, and it's really about sort of empowering and connecting with you. So now this is on the YouTube. I will, if you please put a link, or that's the other thing. It's sort of, so in the sense of, we have projects like this that have gone through the process. And now we're focused mostly on Project Catalyst. So we would say, oh, let's create a proposal for this grant funding mechanism. But that's just the first part of it. There may be a developer or someone that's interested in any one of these parts. Maybe someone's interested in traveling to Palau. Maybe someone's interested in wood carving. Maybe someone knows everything there is to know about mahogany trees. Maybe there's someone that knows everything there is to know about sea level rise, or about governance tokens, or about digital identities. Many, many little fingers get into this project. And it might offer the opportunity for those experts to sort of connect or ground or support or be involved, participate, which in my opinion is really one of the, it's a valid reason for being here. And so getting the project into a posture or in a way that other people can connect and interact with it is, I think, one of the missions of C4C. And it's one of the missions of Cardano. It's one of the missions of Catalyst. So you're in the right spot. The people are here, just like I said, people that are blockchain, people that are willing to lend effort. But it's just how do we go about facilitating? That is, making it easy, making it productive and effective. And I think one of those is to get your project some documentation, or so that you can tell that story in a quick way, sort of the elevator pitch. And it might be the proposal format, because the proposal format is good. It talks about what is the problem, here's the solution, here's the team, here's the timeline, here's how we're gonna know if it made a difference, the auditability, here's the risks that we see involved. I think that might be the next step. And I'm sure you've already done all of that, but it might be a good way to sort of go through that process of writing a proposal and getting into that format and just getting it documented that way.
The only thing I've done is had 2 conversations with the person that's in Palau.
That's wonderful. So this is a seed. This is a seed, this is the beginning.
And I think that part of what's needed here has already been established through Catalyst, the ability to create an NFT.
Oh yeah.
Saving the trees. So it could be a situation where you don't even need to go through Catalyst funding. Just use what's already been accomplished and move forward.
Exactly. And I guess that's a great point. Like, you don't really need the Catalyst funding, but the real value is the format and the kind of, because money is a great incentive. It's just like, ooh, I can get money. I'm incentivized. I'm motivated. And that's kind of a legacy program that runs in my brain. But for long lasting value, the things that how you do it, not what you do. I don't know if that's a real clear idea, but if we, going through that process might help to sort of communicate and bring into focus or to highlight or help other people get involved with the project. But it's not necessarily the Catalyst thing. It's just any format that other people know and can allow them to interface with.
I agree. I'm open to see where it evolves. And at the same time, we can show how the Catalyst process is able to, like I was saying earlier, things that have already been established can be put into play with different opportunities here. And as far as the developing of the land, this person used to live in Portland, Oregon, and he went back because his mom is getting up in age and his mom owns the property, so he's going to inherit it. And he's upset that, you know, in order to sustain himself, he may have to sell the property.
Exactly.
But the idea is to make a little mini resort, because he says, I think he said it had a nice view of the ocean.
Yeah.
So before the airbase comes in there, you know, they're going to need places to live. This could be a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
So that's the idea.
And it's sort of just like regenerative land management, you know, which I think that people are faced with that decision. They're like, look, I have this land for whatever reason. And they have to just decide, like, can it sustain itself and sustain me as it is? And then, you know, you've got this choice that people are willing to pay for it, and they will, you know, clear cutting the forest. I wish that Melanie was here. I think that she's got a lot of, this is really her, you'll find receptive people and the people that have done a lot of thinking about this. For instance, there's a new community member here who is focused on creating new tokenomics economies, and we have a whole group on this type of thing, like how to build a new tokenomics. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your support.
I'm going to shut off the recording in 2 minutes. Irene, if you want to pop in and say goodbye, or Abbas, I know that you're listening. Thank you. You may not want to come back on, but thank you for being here. I'm going to put in a broadcast to the other groups. We're going to wind down, Yoram. We're just saying goodbye to YouTube.
Perfect.
Thanks, Irene.
Jump into another call. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Bye, Yoram.
Bye-bye.
Okay, saying goodbye to YouTube. Bye-bye.
Bye.